over the past several decades, we've seen states and counties all over this country require permits to go purchase a firearm, not just to carry one, but to actually purchase one. And as we've seen this take place recently, obviously there's been a few lawsuits against that. A big one that I kind of want to talk about for a moment is Measure 114 in Oregon. Now, Measure 114 in Oregon obviously applies to Oregon, but the problem is what the federal judge said about that. So we'll come back to that here in a second. But Measure 114 in Oregon ultimately says that you have to have a permit to purchase a gun. It also says that you're not allowed to have any gun at all with a capacity more than 10. Now, obviously, then lawsuits came about, but unfortunately, a federal judge recently said that when it comes to the Constitution of the United States, that Measure 114 was constitutional. Now, this is a problem for the obvious reason. Because now what we're seeing is, of course, Measure 114 continues forward. Now, what I will say for the sake of Oregon, because I want to talk about the whole country mostly, but what I'll say about Oregon is there's lawsuits going saying that it's against the state constitution, which I'm sure it is. Well, it's against both, I'm sure. So that continues. The problem with a federal judge saying that it's okay, that it is constitutional to not only require everybody to have a permit to purchase a gun, but that nobody's allowed to have a gun with more than 10 rounds, means that other states can continue to do this as well. Because, of course, we see this in California, we see it in Massachusetts, we see it in New York and Illinois, and on and on and on and on. But the reality is once federal judges start giving the thumbs up on this, ultimately what it means is every single state in this country is only one election away from losing their constitutional rights to carry. This is a big problem. And the entire country is just only one election away from everybody losing their constitutional rights. And that's something that, and I say that because here in Missouri, I was born and raised in Missouri. I've seen it go back and forth between Democrats and Republicans so many times that now that it's a very Republican strong state, I don't foresee that continuing. To be quite honest, I think we're one election away from having all these freedoms stripped from us. And I believe every state in the union is dealing with the same thing as well as this country. But the biggest problem, because in the end, it doesn't matter what the leaders do, because if a judge says, hey, that's unconstitutional, we can't do it. But the reality is that the federal judges are saying that it is constitutional to do this. And for somebody to swear an oath to uphold the Constitution, this is a problem. And I say this because I really, truly believe all of us are only one election away from being in the exact same boat that Oregon is in. So any thoughts or insight on that, definitely put that below. Would like to take a moment and say that most people watch this channel, they're not subscribers to the channel. Please take a moment, hit that subscribe button. It greatly increases the algorithm and our ability to get these messages out. That link is below. But the most important part of this channel is we take prayer requests. So please don't ever hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.